I believe Bounded in the comics is reputable. Anyways, fam, Mortal Kombat 11 is already discounted over 15%. And well, on the internet, there's a bit of a saying called "Get Woke, Go Broke," and we're watching it as is. There's been a bit of controversy over the title, and with one of the developers coming out and saying how, oh, we're not gonna have scantily clad women, and then there's a grind element that a lot of reviews are talking about when it comes to in-game currencies and microtransactions. A lot of players, because here's the deal. I've been I've gamed since, ColecoVision. So I remember the time when, you purchased the game, you got the game, that was it. There was no DLC, there was no internet, there was no way to microtransaction. And with, the introduction of mobile gaming, there's been so much money being made from developers and app companies that it's, oh man, how much profit can we get, we got shareholders and all these other people to account for. And so Mortal Kombat back in the inception was the rule breaker. It created the ESRB, with the blood and the guts. And we're talking about pixelated blood that parents were freaking out about at the time. But the deal is that those parents have grown up, and so has Ed Boon and the creative staff over at NetherRealm Studios, because now there was I guess their lead designer came out and said how, oh, we don't care if you want scantily clad women. There's not going to be any scantily clad women. That was very much the case, and it's very noticeable. Like, they all have very, very small chest, and this was just a one of multiple instances where the idea of censorship or just bowing to social pressures and Mortal Kombat, these are two things that don't mesh well together. Like, they never would, they never could, because Mortal Kombat's whole shtick was going against the establishment, and it's heartbreaking. It's watching money break them. And now, yeah, you're the same establishment corporation deal as all the rest of them. I mean, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And that's exactly what's happened with this franchise, and actually quite a few of them, because even look at Star Wars. Star Wars was all about being groundbreaking, and now it's all about monotony and, just driving the merchandise. So let's get into this article by, I want to say Jorge Arenas. NetherRealm Studio Mortal Kombat 11 is already being discounted just a day after its release. On Amazon, the base version of Mortal Kombat 11 is marked down 17%. The game, which originally cost $59.99, has been reduced to $49.94. The Mortal Kombat 11 Premium Edition for Xbox One is also heavily discounted at 10% off. It was originally $99.99. It has been reduced to $89.94. And as Twitter user Warrior64 points out, these discounts are across the major gaming platforms and include PlayStation 4, a Nintendo Switch, and the Xbox One. Scorpion. Mortal Kombat 11. If you happen to pre-order Mortal Kombat 11, you missed out on a huge discount right out the gate. Reasons for the discount. NetherRealm Studios, not Mortal Kombat, has issued a statement as to why the game has already been discounted. Supposedly, the game was highly anticipated, and it also enjoyed generally positive reviews from critics about the story and gameplay. It currently enjoys a Metacritic Metascore of 83. It also has a user score of 7.8. Solid numbers, to say the least. So what are we missing? YouTuber Young Yed points out the Mortal Kombat 11 features microtransactions. See, yeah. Okay, let's pause at this right for a second, because microtransactions are something that is fairly new. I put down gaming for a while, focused on my career and things that I've been working on, and when I come back, it seems as if like all the new rage is paying for skins and paying for content. And that really blew my mind. Like, one of the last games I played before my hiatus was South Park Stick of Truth. And it was, what you paid for is what you got. If you spend $60 on a AAA experience, then you're supposed to get everything that's on that disc, everything that you have for the game. But these developers have gotten like lazy. Like, there are games like Battlefield 5 gets released with parts straight up missing. The Division back in the day, like, I mean, these games end up getting patched over time, but what are you doing? Like, this game's a service stuff. Like, no, like the attention span, it's amazing because the attention span should not last. It isn't going to last that long. Just like almost on anyone. If, out from launch, the game isn't good, particularly when it comes to these multiplayer games. But let's get back into the article. For the different outfits for the fighters, he also notes the game does feature quite a bit of grinding in tower mode and a troublesome RNG drop system, loot boxes. It's quite possible the game has been discounted in order to get more users to maximize profits with their microtransaction system. It might be worth a 15% discount if you can bring in more players who are willing to spend even more in the in-game microtransactions. However, another reason could be the increasing number of controversies the game has been facing leading up to launch. Mortal Kombat 11 has been heavily criticized with how they radically altered their characters' designs for most of the female characters, including Sonya Blade, Jade, and Scarlet. The game was also blasted for its new designs of Shivo, where a number of people compared the four-eyed woman to Charles Barkley. Jesus. But that goes into what I spoke of earlier, where, like, that was one of the main selling points of the game, was just how it was just all testosterone. Yeah, dude-ish, I mean, it was a celebration of all the things that we loved, like, as guys. And, it's like, oh yeah, we're going to alter it. And here's another thing. They said that it was because, a woman wouldn't fight in scantily clad clothing in real life, yet the guys weren't toned down at all, and they had the women in high heels. So it's like, is she really gonna wear high heels in a fight for her life? Come on, guys. I mean, these things have been covered for a long time, but I do want to, I feel as if I can draw to the angle where Ed Boon, who is the creator, who's been there this entire time, I just believe that, he got old. Like, it happens. We get old, and as you get older, you have daughters and stuff like that, you think you see the world in a different light, but that light, in a lot of cases, it's not particularly what gets you to where you are. It's like Playboy no longer doing nudes. It's like, why do you even exist then? So, in fact, the game was accused of being sexist because they decided to cover up characters and blame the changes on realism. No one was buying the bit on realism, given it is a Mortal Kombat game whose most prominent claim to fame was ripping people's spines out of their bodies and their iconic fatalities. Despite the fan petitioning requesting Mortal Kombat 9 costumes to be made an option, NetherRealm Studios indicated no such plans were in the works. NetherRealm Studios boss Ed Boon spoke to Playboy. Wow, I didn't read this article before I started talking. Playboy, where he explained why the female characters are more covered up. Well, it's a little bit more sense to have them dressed, especially if they're going to be in combat. I don't know how many people wear a bikini to a fight. And also with technology, especially with Mortal Kombat 11, we're able to display our characters with more fidelity, detail, and realism than we ever have. And that includes materials. Like, we can suddenly do something that really looks like leather, like steel, like cloth, like suede, like velvet, all of those things we didn't have the ability to do before. And so that lets us make much more interesting, realistic costumes. And so we really kind of just gravitated in that direction. Yeah, bullshit. Your fan base. Like, this is the thing. You got old, Ed. Ed Boon, you got old, brother. It happens. How many daughters do you have, Ed? The game has also come under fire for its treatment of Jax and his ending in Tower Mode, which, as a black man, yeah, I take some kind of way, because the deal is, if you change slavery, you can't, like, everything change. Never mind. Where the staunchy patriotic character makes an about face and begins preaching about being woke. In fact, Mortal Kombat 11's Danish Saeed might have made things worse, as he stated people criticizing Jax's ending should not be called wow. Word, bruh. Word. And I'm black. Word. Like this. Oh my goodness. Jeez. Saeed also indicated the game removed Johnny Cage's use of the OK sign because cousin Nazi. It has also included a reference to Donald Trump using the franchise's most infamous villain, Shao Kahn. Yeah, that one I was familiar with. I wasn't familiar with the with Mr. Saeed saying that people criticizing Jack's ending should not be called fans. That's wow. What have we done, America? What have we done, bruh? And I mean, I don't want to like sound any kind of way, but Saeed, I'm pretty sure you're not black, bro. I'm pretty sure you're not black. So who the hell are you to the way I assume it was that there was some, man bun sucking on a soy latte, coming just writing that and feeling so amazing about himself. Like, Jax makes sure slavery is not a thing. Jax free slave. Like, bruh. And he really, like, he felt good. Like, he felt good. He felt amazing. He felt like he had done the Lord's work by, fictionally undoing slavery. Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness. So what's the brother's name that wrote this article? Golly, this is Mr. Arenas. Like, any relation to Gilbert Arenas? Probably not, because your name's Jorge. Either way, yeah. So, man, Ed Boon, you got old, brother. You got old, and it's kind of sad to see. I mean, I'm getting old too, and if I end up with a daughter, I'm pretty sure that I will somewhat kind of gear towards that. But me being me, I don't know. Who knows? Either ways, though, Mr. J, the gentleman extraordinaire, like, sub, share, sub. Oh, Jesus. I'm not editing this out. Like, sub, share, or talk to me in the comments. It's all good. Like, I fear no one's opinion. And until the next one.